In this video, I'll give you 5 tips for organizing your course content in Blackboard Ultra. Blackboard Ultra uses a linear structure, which means students scroll through your content from top to bottom. When you look inside containers, they also expand from top to bottom. My first tip is one from the folks at Quality Matters. Always have a container called Start Here that introduces students to the course layout, expectations, policies, and how to get help. This sets the tone and gives students a clear first step, which can reduce confusion and help them feel more confident as they begin. In this example, I have an About page, a course syllabus, a page on how to use Blackboard Ultra, and a Zoom meetings link that they can come back to throughout the semester to find our meetings. I'm going to close this module now. My next tip is about naming. When you name your modules or items like tests, documents, and so on, be consistent and descriptive. This is for students and for future you. For example, instead of Unit G or Folder 4, try something more detailed like Week 3 Photosynthesis Basics, due June 31. This gives students a clear sense of what to expect, and it will help you remember what you put there in future semesters. Next, it's important to use chunking to divide your content. In Blackboard Ultra, you can do that using modules or folders. If you go to the Create menu, you'll see Learning Modules and Folders at the very top. For most courses, I recommend putting your materials, assessments, and other contents inside of about 6 to 12 modules or folders at the top level. Only use a second or maybe a third layer of folders when you really need to. Too many nested layers can make things difficult to find. But you might want a second layer folder if you have some recommended items for students to read, or if you just have a lot of contents in a module or folder, then you might need a second layer. And in very rare cases, you might need that third layer as well. Ultra, you can link to items in the content area, even if they live somewhere else. This means that you can put something in multiple containers. For example, you could create a folder at the bottom of your course named something like All Tests or All Assignments, and you can link to other assignments there. So first sample assignment and second non-posted grade, which is an assignment in this course, actually live at the top of this course. I'm going to open Week 1, Introduction to Plant Biology, and you'll see that they live here. But I've also put a link to them in this All Tests folder at the bottom. You can see they have a little link icon over their icon that shows that they're linking to another place. This would make it really easy for students to find this in either way, so you could have Week 2 tests here as well. I'm going to show you how you would do that. Within the folder where you want to link to something, click on the plus sign and click Create. From the menu that comes up on the right, you're going to select Link from this list. And from here, it's going to default to web link, but you want to click the course link tab, and then you can search for it. You can either enter a keyword, or you could just check off assessments and find all of the assessments. You can only add these one at a time, so you would just select the thing that you want to link and then click Save, and that will put a link to it. The last tip I want to give you is about emojis. One complaint we've heard a lot about Blackboard Ultra is that folder and module descriptions no longer support formatting like they did in Blackboard Original. If you try to paste in a neat list, say, of all of the things to do that week, it just comes out looking like a wall of text, as you see here. We know that Blackboard is planning to implement more formatting in this area, but they don't have a timeline. So while we wait, try adding emojis to act as those visual markers. For example, you might use a check mark to show all of the assignments in a folder. I'll show you this in another one. If I go to week 4 and click the 3 dots to the right of the name of this, I can click edit to edit this text description. And then I can go to a new tab where I just found an emoji that I want to use. You might choose to use a calendar or something else instead. Here I'm just going to use this checkbox again, so I just selected copy on that. And then I'm going to delete this long text description, and instead I'm going to Control V to add a checkbox in here, and then I'm just going to say item here, and then you could list them out. You'll note that even though I'm putting line breaks here, the description doesn't respect that over here on the left. It just makes it into a wall of text. But now at least we have these emojis to divide things up a little bit, so that's one thing you can try. Another thing you can do with emojis is you can add them directly to the titles of something. So here in week 2, I've done that with discussions. You could also do that with documents or tests to break things up or add a little bit of color. Blackboard Ultra does have default icons for different types of things, but they're always going to be black and white, and some people have found that they don't really add enough visual difference. Keep in mind that if you do choose to use emojis, and this goes for other types of images as well, don't replace the text description with the emoji. This should be an addition, something else that people can see, but keep in mind that people with visual impairments won't be able to see them. So you need to also have a clear description and not have this picture or color be your only indicator of what something is. But these different icons can help organizing content in a way that I think people are looking for. Thanks for watching.